Hey guys, on this episode, we'll be talking about how to learn to invest fast. How can you get the skills and knowledge to help you make informed decisions on investing? Hey guys, if you're new to this channel, I'm Romel, and on this channel we talk about all things related to personal finance, investing, and building wealth. We discuss mindsets, strategies, techniques, and resources to help you in your journey to build wealth. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. We produce new content every week. Alright guys, so let's talk about the area of investing and rapid skill acquisition. This video was actually brought upon by one of the books that I had for a long time, but I just recently opened again just because, every now and then I go through my library and I look at books that have been very useful to me and I try to revisit them to see if I remember the things that were taught in it and just to, give me a refresher. And that book is this: How to Learn Anything Fast, The First 20 Hours by Josh Kaufman. And this is a real play on the hours, 20 hours. If you know Malcolm Gladwell and his book, he talks about the 10,000 hour rule. And the 10,000 hour rule says that it takes anyone approximately 10,000 hours to become an expert in any subject matter or thing. And so this is, very contradictory to that in that it says 20 hours. The big takeaway for that is 20 hours of focused practice will get you to, a level that's not expert, but that you can be familiar and you can work your way around any topic or item. All right, so let's talk about this. How to learn to invest fast. This skill is called rapid acquisition or rapid skill acquisition, learning something fast. And this basically breaks down into four sub bullet points or categories. The first category is deconstructing. You want to deconstruct the skill that you're trying to learn into sub skills that will help you along the way. The second one is learning. You want to make sure that if you want to learn something fast, obviously you need to make a plan and stick to it in how you're going to learn and what you're going to learn. The third thing I'd like to talk about is trying to remove distractions or anything that may come in the way, either emotionally or physically, that'll keep you from your focused practice. And the fourth thing, obviously, is focused practice, which is how you're going to best learn the skill that you want. All right, so for investing, what does this mean? First, let's deconstruct the skill. What is investing? Well, to understand what investing is, basically it's putting your money into companies that you believe in. Either companies, in that sense, it's stocks, or ETFs, which are groups of companies that will allow you to profit from them. All right, so that's what investing is. Basically, you're buying shares of companies that you believe in, and some of those companies can actually give you dividends. Now, to deconstruct this skill, we need to understand first, how do you buy? Second, how often do you buy? Third, what are you using to buy? And fourth is the type of buyer you are. So first, how do you buy? Where do you buy? Where do you buy comes down to the type of brokerage that you want to use. Second is how do you buy? Are you putting market orders or limit orders, or are you putting money into a robo-advisor that goes ahead and just invests it for you into certain investing profiles? Or do you want a more tailored approach where you're picking your actual stocks? The third one I mentioned was how often you buy. So is this a monthly thing? Are you buying when news comes out? Or are you a dollar cost averager like myself and you're putting money in at set recurring intervals? And then the last thing you want to understand is what type of investor you are. That obviously comes down to your investing style. I'm a long-term investor, so I generally just put money into companies I believe in and then I just let it ride, basically. I let it sit there and I see how the performance does over time. Other people might be scalpers. That's people that like to take profits off what they make during the day or month or week, whatever types of criteria they have for themselves. Or you could be a day trader. So you need to understand what type of investor you are. All right. Second thing, learning. This is one of the most important things you want to figure out when you're trying to learn how to invest. So where do you go to learn? To learn to invest, you should focus on each of these subcategories, at once at a time. So how do you buy? First, you should understand, well, first, where do you buy? You should understand what the advantages and disadvantages of each brokerage is before you start putting money into them. For example, M1 Finance is one of the ones that I personally like because I literally just put $100 into the account. It automatically divvies it up against, amongst the companies that I have in there, and it basically auto rebalances and does everything for me. Some of the disadvantages of M1 Finance is that you're not able to buy or invest the money at particular times during the day. You only have one trading window, which is 9:30 in the morning, unless you go for the M1 Finance Plus, where you get a second trading window, but you're not able to, let's say there's a big dip around noon, you're not able to buy it at that time since it's invested. So first thing is understanding where you're going to buy, and you should really take your time and figure out which brokerages work for you, because ultimately that's where you're going to be putting your money into for a long period of time. All right, how do you buy? That's the second skill you should learn, which is are you buying during the market when the market's open? Are you buying with limit orders, which is one of the things that helps reduce risk? If you're saying, hey, buy this stock when it either drops down to this price. And also, if you want to put a limit order to sell it, or a stop loss order. So if my stock drops from $50 to $48, sell all my shares. So that's the second thing, how to buy your stocks. All right, the third thing is where you're investing. So is the account that you're opening a 401k? In that sense, this is money that's not taxed when it's transferred over, but you'll pay taxes once you take it out. Or is it a Roth IRA, which is tax advantage? So the money that's put into your Roth IRA is already taxed, which means that when you end up taking your money out, if you follow all the rules of when you can take money out for Roth IRA, it comes out basically you don't have to pay a tax at the end. Or is this a general investment account where you put money in, you pay taxes on it, but you should also figure out the different taxes that you'll have to pay. I believe there's a certain period where you pay more taxes, whereas if you hold a stock for a certain amount of time, you're able to pay less taxes. All right, so that's focused learning. Some ways to shortcut this or to speed up this process is to either buy a course. I'm not selling anything, I'm just recommending it. Buy a course or buy a book, or figure out some sort of rubric or curriculum, or follow some sort of guide online to help you. And the reason I say this is that unlike watching individual YouTube videos, courses, books, and curriculums are tailored so that they basically give you a roadmap on things that you should learn in a specific order to help you really focus your learning and your time, because there's a lot of information out there. Basically, Googling how to invest into YouTube is like a fire hose wide open. There's just so many different videos on the topic with so many different subtopics that you may not find what you're looking for, right? Some topics talk about how to read candlestick charts. Well, if you're a long-term investor, or if you're using a brokerage such as M1 Finance, then reading candlestick diagrams might not make sense, because it's not like you're actually going to buy and sell during specific trading windows, or you're not really reading patterns. All right, and then one other thing that I actually recommend is that you learn how to read the news. So what I mean is, if you want to invest, you should understand the market. So understanding the market means staying up to date with trends, understanding news and earnings reports that come out about your specific company, and just keeping up to date with mergers, or if there's any frauds out there, you should be aware of those things. For a long-term investor, that'll help you determine whether or not you want to stay invested in that company, or if there's a big scandal such as the one with Enron, you'll want to be ahead of that, or at least know when it happens, so that you can pull money out if you stop believing in their vision, their mission, and their purpose. All right, and then removing barriers. This is the skill 3, which I mentioned. So what this means is to remove barriers, at least for investing, one of my strategies is to automatically uh, deposit money into my investment account and automatically invest money in my M1 Finance account. I have a recurring deposit set up with M1 Finance for $100. Basically, each week, $100 goes from my checking account into my M1 Finance account, which automatically gets invested into my M1 Finance portfolio. So that's a great way to remove barriers, because it's not like you're saying, oh, well, I'm not sure if I want to invest today. This automatically does it for you. If you invest in those companies and if it makes sense with your trading style, then there's not really much emotion to it. This happens automatically. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. It just does it. And then focused learning. So you want to make sure that you set aside time in your calendar to remove that barrier of of not staying committed and staying consistent with your learning. So what that means is, are you setting aside 1 hour in the morning or 1 hour in the evening to take a look at all the news, or do you have some sort of stock news subscription or news feed that basically gets emails sent to you in the morning, such as Atom Finance? They basically give you a morning, afternoon, and evening brief of how the market's doing. So those are things that you can automate in your learning process and in your investing career to help you stay consistent with your goals of learning how to invest. All right, and then the last thing is practicing. To learn any skill, you need to have focused practice. And focused practice for investing can mean a couple of things. If you're a day trader, you should set aside time each day to learn how to read the market. If you're a long-term investor, you should set aside time each day to read the news and to see how your company is doing. You should have in your calendar the key dates related to your company's earnings, so that way you can see how your company is doing and if the metrics that are given in the financial documents still make sense, then you can adjust your trading strategy as such. All right, so those are 4 quick things on rapid skill acquisition. I tried to make this more related to investing because these are the type of topics and the things that I'm personally talking about on this channel. But these 4 subtopics or 4 core concepts can be applied to really anything. Deconstructing skills, learning, understanding what it means to learn, removing barriers or any distractions that may keep you from learning or practicing, and then finally practicing. All of those things will make you better informed and better in trading, investing, and in rapid skill acquisition. Again, this was really inspired by the book The First 20 Hours by Josh Kaufman. I'm actually getting rid of a lot of my books to make space for a nursery. I'm actually expecting my daughter, actually, first child, super exciting. I can't wait. She's actually expected to be here, well, to get born. My wife's expected to give birth. I don't know. You know what I mean. She's expected to deliver the baby January 10th or 11th, 2021. So that's the next big thing that's happening in my life. There's a lot of things related to, setting up the room, baby products, equipment, furniture that you need. So that's what I've been spending a lot of my time on these past 2 weeks. Just we actually went to Bye Bye Baby, and that was overwhelming in itself. They give you a book with a whole bunch of stuff that you need, and I swear everything that we were looking at was $200. Crib, $200. Crib mattress, $200. The little sleeper thing that the babies go on, that I don't know what you call it, a baby swing, $200. So, but I digress. That's a separate topic. So yeah, I'm getting rid of a lot of my books. I'll leave a link to my Let Go profile down below for anyone that wants to buy any of the books off me. A lot of the prices that I'm setting on there, it's not a firm price, so feel free to, go back and forth with what you think is a fair price for the books that I'm selling. One thing that I will say is that I keep all of my books in a good condition, and if not, if there's some sort of stain or discoloration, I'll note it in the description. But for the most part, all of my books are in good condition. I never really took notes or highlighted things in the book. So um, for those of you that are in the sneaker world, it's considered very near dead stock. Dead stock means unused. Very near dead stock means lightly used, but basically perfectly brand new. So yeah, there you go. There is my advice to learning how to invest fast. Hope this helps, guys. Let me know if you have any other things that you recommend to help speed up this process. How did you guys learn how to invest? I'd be interested to know. Leave links to books or courses or anything that you feel like helped you learn. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're looking to connect with me on other social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, I'll leave links in the description down below as well. Alright, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.